This is Julia, Reference Librarian at McAllen Public Library. Welcome to Creative Tech, where we'll be looking at ways that technology and design can make your life a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. So studies have shown that looking at iPhones and iPads or any kind of electronic device late at night is actually bad for your sleep, and it can keep you awake because of the glare and the color of the light, and looking at electronic things in general late at night. It's bad for your sleep, not conducive to falling asleep. But luckily, a lot of phone companies now, like iPhone, they make settings that you can turn on your phone in the evening, so that it'll help you fall asleep a little bit easier. Now, the most important of these settings is the Do Not Disturb setting. Up here at the top, you can either turn it on manually, like if you have an interview or a meeting or something and you don't want to be disturbed during the meeting, you can turn it on manually and then turn it off when it's over. Or you can also schedule it. You can schedule it to go into Do Not Disturb mode at night while you're sleeping. And what it does is it'll silence any calls except for people who you allow it to send the calls anyway. And it'll also hide all of your notifications. Now, where it says silence, that's what it gives you two options. You can choose for the phone to either be always silent, like not make any noises for any notifications at all, even if you're using the phone. Or you can choose to while iPhone is locked. And so, like if you have your phone, you're doing something with it, you're using it, then it's not silent. But if your phone is locked, you're not using it, then it'll silence all incoming notifications and calls. But there is an exception to that, where it says phone allow calls from. It gives you some choices there. You can have it allow phone calls from everyone, which kind of defeats the purpose of it, or you can choose no one, like it won't allow calls from anyone when you have Do Not Disturb mode on, or people who you designate as favorites, or all contacts. So you could have it allow calls from anyone in your contact list, even when Do Not Disturb mode is on. That's a good idea for emergencies. So like if a family member, someone is calling you with an emergency in the middle of the night, their call can still get through. Another emergency feature here is repeated calls. So like if someone calls you several times, several times in a row, it'll send the call through, even if Do Not Disturb mode is on. And that's just another emergency feature. Now, another important setting is display and brightness. So obviously you don't want your phone to be completely lit up, glaring white light, in the middle of the night. So there are things that you can do to control that. You can have your phone either in light mode or dark mode. Right now I have my phone in dark mode. I prefer that because I've found that the phone, basically looking at the phone a lot, gives me a really bad headache. So I keep mine in dark mode, but you can have it in light mode. And you can also have it change automatically from light mode to dark mode. And you can do that on a custom schedule, whatever hours you choose. Like you could have it go into dark mode just at night, or you can also have it automatically go into dark mode at sunset, and then it'll go back into light mode at sunrise. But I prefer dark mode, so I'm going to go back to that. And now you can also adjust the brightness. Right now I have mine a little bit below the mid-level, but you can adjust it all the way up to the top, and now you see that's a lot brighter. Then that's a lot darker. So I'll put it back to how it was. Now True Tone, I have that turned on. That's a good setting. That means that the iPhone will automatically detect what kind of light you're in and automatically adjust to it. Like if you're outdoors in the bright sunlight, it'll adjust to that. Or if you're inside in a dim room, it'll automatically adjust to that also. And night shift, what that does is that it automatically, when you have that scheduled, it'll automatically make the colors of your phone a little bit warmer. Studies have shown that the kind of the blue light, the glaring like blue light, is what prevents people from falling asleep at night. So this makes the colors warmer when you're trying to go to sleep. Now, another very important setting is the sleep settings, which are now under the Health app, the built-in iPhone Health app. So when you open the Health app, it's going to look something like this, and you'll go to sleep. And if you have an Apple Watch, or actually even if you don't, it'll kind of show you how well you're doing with your sleep, like how much sleep you're getting each night. And the way it measures that is by when's the last time you move your phone or your watch at night, and when's the first time you move it in the morning. That's kind of how it tracks when you're falling asleep and waking up. But what's best about the sleep settings is that you can actually set an alarm, and it's not a blaring loud alarm. It's kind of a soft sort of musical sound that gradually gets louder. And you can set it for different times on different nights depending on your schedule. So you go to full schedule and options and add schedule for other days. And this is what it'll look like. Up at the top, you choose the day that you want to activate it for, and then you choose the time, and it'll tell you basically what time you have to go to sleep depending on how much sleep you want to get. And it'll kind of remind you, like when it's getting close to bedtime, it'll start reminding you about that. So we all have busy and hectic lives, and technology can be a big part of what adds to that stress. But the tech companies, they don't really want to make our lives more difficult. They want to make them easier and better. And so that's why they offer a lot of these settings. And you can see here they even have some articles that kind of give you more information about why sleep is important, tips on getting a good night's sleep, and kind of a summary of what the settings on the device can do. This was Julia, and thank you for watching. Be sure to follow MPL Adults on Facebook and McAllen Public Library on YouTube, and don't miss any of our virtual programs.